Well, so that's weird. Oh, well, technically though, okay, I remember now. It's all coming back to me. So March 18th. Really? We didn't go shelter in place until then? That sounds whatever.
No, it was
March
late.
18th. Yeah, March 18th is when all restaurants and bars closed.
The bars closed, yeah.
That was my last day at work. Like my last day at work was the 17th because I had the 18th off. And then the 19th morning was sent out company-wide like, hey, we're closed. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm out of a job?
All right. And so I shouldn't come, you're saying, or no? Right.
Yeah, and then 4 days later, we were shelter in place. So yeah, I feel like we were, basically that text thread that you see was just like our last moment of serenity before.
We had no idea.
No idea.
I want to say the last time we got together, most of us was the 13th. Because Selassie did his shit on the 11th, and then I was like, we were going to play that show at Skylark on the 13th, so we just had a rehearsal instead. And
that's right. And I remember, I'm pretty sure everybody was at that rehearsal, and we were just
everybody but Key. I think it was me, you, Leland, and Alex.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't we have a planned gig the weekend of like the 22nd? Oh yeah, we have Friday Night Live.
Yeah, we were supposed to do the Friday. We were going to do that Friday the 13th, and then we had Friday Night Live. Like,
that's right.
Everything got all jacked up. God have mercy.
And then the world tour that was headed right after that. And,
seriously.
Because 2020 was going to be our year, right? Wasn't that what you and I kept saying, Mac, from New Year's Eve?
I swear to God.
March 18th.
Did we not get together, though? Remember that? There was like a time we got together at Skylark and we were writing down, you were like, I'm going to write down some goals. And one of them was, I think it was Blues on the Green 2020. And then we ended up getting the ACL thing with Kool and the Gang. So I was like, well, this counts.
No, I mean, we definitely, I think it was interesting how we came together on that day because it was so sporadic, first of all. Like, I think what happened really was, for some reason, I had started setting up my in-home studio, right?
Your space, I
had started hooking up my space because I was like, we had already been in it for a couple weeks of like, okay, stuff's getting weird in the world. Things might happen. No idea what that looks like yet, but it's going to happen. And then basically set it all up. It's like 11:30 at night. I don't remember what time it was. It had to have been late, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, God. It was hella late.
And next thing I know, I'm just like texting you because I'm like all excited that all my stuff is set up. And then then you're at my house in like 30 minutes to record a new song that we literally are, premiering now, which is cool because technically, I think that was our first. It's definitely not our last, and we've had several other tracks created since then. But I think it was an interesting take alone for this song because this song was completely created in quarantine. Like not a single one of us other than you and I to make the initial idea, which was an hour of us together to throw in scratch tracks, throw in a scratch bass line that was like, oh, I think this might be what we do. And then, several months later come to what we now have as like
this is what we
song.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's really insane. And so much has happened in that time. I mean, I want to say, didn't the computer that we were using that night die?
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yes.
So it's like we lost it and then you had to redo the track, the drums or something.
Yeah. Well, Macs are great and all, and Apple's amazing. But after a certain year, they start to just let their stuff. I feel like there's like a termination button somewhere in the Apple company, which is like a red button for all old iOS systems where they're like, okay, we're now done with this one. Let's just hit the fucking button.
Right. I pray to God that doesn't happen to mine. Mine is hella old.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that computer. Like it was like totally fine, working great, like low memory, like, not anything being used on there. And of course it just never woke up. Like it literally took its final sleep, and that was forever ago.
Oh man.
And I parted ways with the idea that I lost hundreds of tracks of music that were on there, and I think that was also that. Now that I think about it, that's kind of crazy because that died literally as we were going into shelter in place in Austin, and I feel like that is literally the metaphor for 2020. Like my complete computer, like everything just died, and I was like, really?
That is literally 2020 in a nutshell.
Like, literally 2020. Now that I can look back at it 6 months later, I'm like, oh yeah, that definitely was. It was a step in the right direction of like, oh yeah, more shit is about to hit the fan, just so you know.
Oh God, if we only knew. If we only knew. I mean, which is kind of what this song is about. It's like the shit hit the fan. There was this crazy breakup, and I got these flowers, and then they bloomed, and so did these ideas in my mind around. I guess just getting used to that, like understanding it, and then exploring how angry I was about it, and disappointed, and so came Pistil Whipped, man.
Stopped to smell the flowers, for my world came to an end. Was an afterthought bouquet that you had just given me. The roses were bright red, but it couldn't cure my blues. Found no peace amongst the lilies because they had not yet bloomed. As I stood there waiting patiently, their beauty so remarkable, but I just cannot see. Oh, that I don't want your flowers. Our love is dead and gone. Couldn't give me what I needed. All I wanted was your love.